ink in my blood, like radioactive thing, and they could tell the blood flow. And my nut wasn't getting the blood flow that it should have. So apparently your testicle's attached to your scrotum by some, like, spiderweb type of thing, and I didn't have that. And so it's spinning inside the scrotum, and the one of the cords that gives it blood flow.
Everybody else getting paid for this.
Yeah, and the blood flow's not getting to it, so that's the deal. So they quick schedule this surgery where they slice my scrotum down the middle and untwist it. And in this, any, like, modesty I could have possibly had is gone. You know, my mom is looking at my 15-year-old nutsack and like, oh, yeah, it looks tightened up. I don't know. Yeah. And doctors and nurses and, you know, teams of 8 are examining me over the next couple of days. So I probably only missed, like, 4 days of school, but with the weekend in there, I had a good, 6 days of rest. And then I had to go back to school. And when you're healing, there's like some gauze you put on the thing to deal with, stitches like you would anything else, I guess. And so I'm back at school, and I had to wear sweatpants because you can't, like, pack that baby in. You got to give it a little room to breathe while you're getting better. And just the way the gauze kind of, like, propped everything up, I was looking hung, and I had sweatpants on. And I would strut through the halls of my high school like a peacock with my cock out. I would just like, I remember girls looking at my package as I walked down the hall because it was so pronounced. It was kind of like stuffing a sock underneath it because of the, like, bandaging around it. And, yeah, and I was rocking the big boy there. And eventually got better. I was nervous about fertility for a little while, but I've had a couple kids since then without much trouble. And I'm good to go.
Woody, that story just made me so uncomfortable I can't tell you. I feel like that's awful.
It happens, man. Had a twisted nut and pranced around school like a peacock with my cock out.
And as uncomfortable as that makes me, whenever I was watching the Discovery Channel once, and they were talking about what is it? Stones, like kidney stones.
Mm-hmm.
And they showed, like, pictures of them, and some of them, they're like these jagged chunks of calcium, and some of them are, like, big, and that's the same uncomfortable feeling I just got from that story.
I've heard that's one of the most painful things.
My dad's had 9 of those.
Why, yikes.
They say that's
I would feel bad, Sandy.
I got them coming.
Ooh.
My grandfather had like 6 of them. My dad had 9. They're coming right for me.
Yeah, you probably won't go through your entire life without it.
He said it's by far the worst pain he's ever felt.
They say that it's second only to childbirth.
That's bad.
Huh.
Yeah.
You get tubes inserted.
They got like lasers and shit now that can crush them.
Yeah,
but apparently that is worse pain.
Really?
As long as it's not in my nuts, if it's like worse pain in the stomach, I can deal with the stomach pain a little bit more than nut pain.
No, the pain is the tube that is inserted.
Tube that's inserted? I thought
there's a tube
that is inserted. Yeah.
There's a tube? I didn't know there was a tube involved.
There's a tube. There is a tube because it has to open it. It has to make a wider opening.
Can they cut?
You gotta cut your penis in half like a loaf of bread from like Italian bread? That's not good.
You could go in from the...
It's like a hoagie
somewhere.
We went down a road I did not intend to go down.
Yeah. I don't want a hoagie piece.
Stuff's not going in there. They're going to have to cut.
What, are you talking about having your nutsack cut open? You worried about cutting a penis?
Yes, actually.
No, it's a series of tubes.
That like the internet.
A series of tubes? What are they? What is this, Kerplunk? No. No.
Hey, you give me a bottle of whiskey and a right hook, I can deal with pretty much anything.
Oh my God.
Right.
No, I'd be like, all right, look, no, you're just going to have to cut me open. I know my kidney's back here on my back. And they're like, no, sir, that's not how we do it. You cut or I cut?
Going from the back.
You gotta give me some more feet up here. Give me a drip.
That's how we're going in.
And when I look back at the whole experience, it wasn't so much the painful ambulance ride or any of that business. The thing I remember most was strutting the hallways of high school with the equivalent of like a sock in my pants.
Nice.
Proud as can be.
You know, but you could have kept that going home by putting a sock in your pants. You didn't have to have the scrotum cut open.
Yeah, looking back, that would have been a wiser course of action. Hey, I've got a subscriber brought this question into the podcast. What's the most angry you've ever been at a video game? What game was it, and what was the damage? Broken stuff. Sandy, can you go first?
I'm not gonna lie, I don't get mad at video games. I just don't. I've had friends who go ballistic, like they knock their TV over and stuff. Mm-hmm. Like they look like the Halo kid, that crazy German kid or whatever that was.
I know
him. The kid with the milk on his face in Call of Duty.
No, wait a minute.
I don't get mad. I'm very easygoing.
I rarely get mad, and even when things go, not to say I've never gotten mad, but I'm more likely to do a darn it, this isn't working out than I am, a total flame.
I laugh it off.
I often do too, but I've also been mad. Come on, never, lifetime.
I don't. If I broke a controller, I'd be really pissed. I don't do that. I'm very calm.
Yeah, I've never broken anything either, but I threw a controller once.
I get mad. I'm never gonna break something though.
Yeah, that's me too. Like, I don't understand the whole breaking stuff and punching walls. That's
just
like,
psycho.
all right, I'm mad. It's like, all right, I'm pissed off. I'm mad. Now I'm gonna destroy something I enjoy. Like, no, that's just gonna make me madder.
There was a time. So here's what happened.
Yeah, you're waiting for me to get it right.
Yeah, we're saving you for last, man. I know. I don't even know what your story's going to be, but here's mine. So I was playing Call of Duty 4. This is when I first started playing Call of Duty 4, and I was kind of making my transition from negative to positive player. And because of the way that kill streaks work in Call of Duty, that transition is a really cool one. You're a guy who suffers from air support to the guy that makes the other team suffer, and that's what's going on. And I had played on a 32-inch traditional TV, like a CRT, and I had bought a 52-inch plasma. And I had so much hopes and expectations wrapped up in this plasma. Suddenly I was going to have 16 by 9 and perhaps a wider field of view. Suddenly I was going to be able to see enemies that I couldn't see before because they were just about invisible on that CRT. And I thought that it was going to really instantly improve my game. But what happened is it was the wrong TV. It was this Vizio, and they're notorious for input lag. And the things that I was seeing were things that happened a minute ago. It was like the worst network connection you ever had. It wasn't so much a TV as it was a newspaper. It was telling me about things that happened in recent history. And I went negative every single game all night, which wasn't, it didn't fit how well I could play at the time. And I ended up cursing every game, and I threw my controller, and the battery popped off. And I went out. You know how they say don't drive angry? They should say don't shop angry for me, because I went out the next morning and bought the best TV I could find. Brought that home, and that was my rage story. But Wings, you're clearly gonna win this.
18 PS3 controllers, 3 Xbox controllers, 2 TVs, 1 keyboard, 1 handgun.
God, you broke a handgun?
Yeah.
How did you break
Just hitting the Xbox with the handgun.
No, it's a high point. But
oh, well, yeah, that'll do it.
Well, I have what I have is basically this brick imports. It's not like the fake brick, but actual brick masonry. Mm-hmm. But I live in a double wide trailer. And basically what we did was we cemented the foundation and put the footers into the cement and then bricked under the house and made brick porches. Well, I got mad and I didn't want to, because this just happened after I busted a TV. I busted a 32-inch HD TV. I just kicked my foot right through it. And so I grabbed this high point handgun, which I had right at the time, and I took the clip out and I threw it. And then went out on the porch and I just spiked the shit because I was still mad. And the shit just went in pieces. It warped the frame of the gun. All this.
And this was seconds after you broke the TV?
No.
Oh, it was a day.
I broke the TV. I broke the TV a week before. I didn't want to do it again because I just replaced the TV.
So
can I ask what caused this?
Yeah. Mostly shooter games.
Like a noob tube?
Oh, it does. It takes little things to set me off. I hate losing.
Building rage.
I hate losing with a passion because video games is one of the things I've been always very good at, and I never have a network connection to fulfill my actual playing ability, and that pisses me off. Yep. I can't get on the phone. I got on the phone with we have HTC here, which is Ori Telephone Cooperative, and I was talking about was talking about line speeds, and they were giving me some bullshit like, well, for $200 a month, we can give you 3 up and 2. We can give you 3 down, 2 up.
Yeah.
$200. You better be giving me a blowjob with that shit. I was screaming at the guy.
The podcast is marked explicit now.
I mean, I get mad. It pisses me off how bad my connection is, just because I live a little bit outside of town. I live about 4 miles outside of town, and they're just too fucking cheap to run fiber optic in a rural area. Fucking faggots.
I wonder how much it would cost to get a good connection at my house. Like, I called Time Warner, but like, maybe I need to call someone else and see what. If I could drop a one-time, $800 or $900 to get something run out here with a decent monthly fee, I'd seriously look at that.
Yeah, I'm about to check into that tomorrow. Actually, Machinima finally paid us, and I refused using my own money for that, so I may use that money.
I think my favorite one though